something that might sound intimidating at first: economics. But don't worry, I promise to keep it simple, relatable, and maybe even a little fun. Economics isn't just about the number and boring charts. It's about the choices we make every single day, from deciding whether to spend your allowance on new sneakers or save up for a concert ticket, to how entire countries decide what to produce and trade. Economics is the study of all those choices. So let's break down 5 of the most important economic principles that explain how the world really works. But before we get into this video, please like, subscribe, and share to support my channel. So the ones we have are scarcity, opportunity cost, supply and demand, incentives, and comparative advantage. So scarcity. Scarcity is the idea that resources are limited. We don't live in a world where money, time, or raw materials are infinite. Think about it. You only have 24 hours in a day. If you spend 3 hours scrolling TikTok, that's 3 hours you can't spend studying, working, or hanging with friends. That's scarcity in action. Time is limited, so you have to choose how to use it. On a bigger scale, countries face scarcity too. A nation might have oil, but not enough farmland or plenty of technology, but not many natural resources. Because of scarcity, societies have to make decisions about what to produce, how to produce it, and who gets it. And scarcity naturally leads us to the second principle: opportunity cost. This is just a fancy way of saying every choice you make has a cost. The cost of what you give up to do something else. Let's say you got $20. You could spend it on a new phone case or on going out to the movies. If you choose this phone case, your opportunity cost is missing out on the movie night. It's not always about money though. Sometimes the cost is time or energy. If you decide to study all evening, the opportunity cost is not going out to your friend's party, and that can be worth it or not, depending on your goals. Economics reminds us there's no such thing as a free lunch. Every decision has trade-offs, even if we don't always notice them. Okay, let's move on to the classic pair: supply and demand. This principle explains so much of what happens in the economy. Here's the deal: when more people demand something, like a new iPhone 17 for example, but the supply is limited, the price goes up. That's why people camp outside Apple stores on launch day, and why resellers charge double the price online. On the other hand, when demand is low and supply is high, prices fall. Remember when fidget toys were everywhere? At first, demand was crazy, so they were so expensive. But once everyone already had one and demand dropped, stores started selling them at huge discounts just to clear the shelves. Businesses use supply and demand to decide what to produce, at what price. Governments also pay attention because things like housing, food, and energy prices can affect entire societies. I also have school gives you extra credit for doing optional homework. That's a positive incentive. It motivates you to work harder. If you have to pay a fine for returning library books late, that's a negative incentive. It pushes you to return books on time. Governments and businesses use incentives all the time. Taxes on cigarettes are meant to discourage smoking. Discounts and coupons are incentives to get you to buy more stuff. Even your salary is an incentive. It's the reward that motivates you to work in the first place. At the end of the day, economics is really about understanding how people respond to these incentives. Finally, let's talk about comparative advantage. This principle explains why people and countries trade with each other. Imagine you're amazing at math, but not so great at writing essays, while your best friend is the opposite. Instead of both of you struggling through tasks you're not good at, you can divide the work. You do the math problems, your friend writes the essay. In the end, both of you save time and get better results. That's comparative advantage. Focus on what you do best and trade for the rest. This same idea happens at a global level. A country like Brazil, with lots of fertile land, might focus on producing coffee. Japan, with advanced technology, might focus on cars. When they trade, both countries benefit more than if they tried to produce everything on their own. And as a result, we got globalization. So, to wrap up, economics might sound complicated, but at its core, it's about simple ideas that affect us every day. Scarcity reminds us that resources are limited. Opportunity cost shows that every choice comes with trade-offs. Supply and demand explain how prices move. Incentives shape human behavior, and comparative advantage explains why we trade. These principles may sound basic, but together they shape entire economies, influence government policies, and even affect your daily life. From the price of your morning coffee to the career you choose in the future. So, if you find this helpful, hit the like button, share it with someone who could use a crash course in